And we're back. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, so let's play Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Part 13. In the last one, we did a few jobs for Charles Darwin, So Sorry, Dickens, and Karl Marx, as well as discovering the vault of Michael Rouge. Michael Rouge? I'm with Jacob, it's Michael. Before continuing to assist Karl Marx in Southwark, where we prevented a anarchist explosive terrorist plot. Now we're going to assist him in an additional memory called Where There Is Smoke. So here we go. Back at it again. Find proof that a factory is abusing its workforce.
Corruption reigns here, I'm sure of it. The number of people injured by their machinery cannot be calculated, and yet the company continues to prosper. They must be stopped for the sake of the poor workers they abuse. If only we had some form of proof. There must be records of the accident somewhere inside, which would surely prove their malfeasance. I should think you'd need to find the foreman, but how you'd convince him to give you the reports? Perhaps, if they think the factory's on fire, you might bluff your way past.
Very interesting. They're assassinating a guard.
Looks like he's up to no good.
Hey, something wrong?
Everyone out! The whole place is going to burn! Get a fire engine here! Quickly!
Stop! Not through here, please.
Immediately.
Come on, bloody Pegasus!
That's the way.
Yeah! 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 Yeah!
I could have waited for him to come here. With all this.
Slow down!
Saved? Are you daft? What about the reports? Your masters won't be happy if their accounts go up in smoke.
Mother of God, you're right. Follow me, quickly. They should be just inside here. Oh, there they are. Good. They're safe.
Oi! What do you think you're doing? Stop thieves!
For a quiet moment in London, I suppose.
Gone. Vox Populi. Okay. And since it unlocks the wine cover, I happen to know that means this is the last of the Karl Marx movies.
Someone's up tonight. What's going on?
Ooh. You see, I like that. We'll craft and equip that right there. Now back to brawling.
There should be 12.
Godfrey and Cook Limited. Oh yeah, we almost forgot. This was a little area that we were over here with. What was his name? Albert? He was the anarchist. Oh. Yeah, a nice little bottle right here. Never hurt no one. Mr. Marx. Protect Karl Marx while he gives a speech.
I'm so relieved to have found you. I fear my upcoming meeting is going to be disrupted. Strike breakers, maybe, or police spies. Ruffians who fear the march of progress.
Huh. So I'm bodyguarding them. Marvelous.
I worry that any agitation will incite terrible violence. So please remove troublemakers without attracting any... I worry that any agitation will incite terrible violence. So please remove troublemakers without attracting any attention. Wunderbar. Thank you. I must prepare, but I will see you inside shortly.
No time.
In the last 2 decades, there has been an unheard of development of industry and unprecedented increase in exports and imports. Well, these are facts to be celebrated by the property classes. For the workers, very little has changed.
You just run along.
You well know under what conditions health damaged morals and society.
Oopsies. Maybe we'll be a little bit more attentive this time.
Ladies and gentlemen, United Workers, the man we're here to see needs no introduction, but I shall give him one anyway. He has sacrificed so much in the hope that we may all benefit. Please give a warm reception to Mr. Karl Marx.
Thank you for your most generous welcome. I come before you today with a heavy commercial and industrial Europe.
We're gonna have to go from the farthest out in.
Ladies and gentlemen, United Workers, the man we're here to see needs no introduction, but I shall give him one anyway. He has sacrificed so much in the hope that we may all benefit. Please give a warm reception to Mr. Karl Marx.
Workers, comrades, thank you for your most generous welcome. I come before you today with a heavy. England stands at the head of the In the last 2 decades, there has been an unheard of development of industry and unprecedented increase in exports and imports. While these are facts to be celebrated by the propertied classes, for the workers, very little has changed. You well know by the working class. It has become a truth that no perfecting of machinery, no application of science to industry No improvement of the means of communication, no new colonies, no emigration, no opening out of new markets, no free trade, and not all these things put together can do away with the misery of the toiling masses. But rather, on the contrary, that upon the present false basis, every new development of the productive power of labor must lead to the widening of the gulf between the classes and to the heightening of social antagonisms. During this epoch of economic progress, death from starvation has raised itself almost to the rank of a social institution here in London, the capital of the British Empire. In the annals of world history, this age will be characterized by the more impetuous course, the more expanded range, and the deadlier effects of the social plague known as the commercial and industrial crisis. I believe that it is not necessary that the means of labor should be monopolized as a means of dominating the workers and exploiting them. That just like slavery and serfdom, so also wage labor is only a transitory subordinate social form which is destined to vanish before associated labor, which will accomplish its work with willing hands, vigorous mind, and cheerful heart. It has been said that the House of Commons is a house of lords. I put it to you today that to capture political power is now the great duty of the working class. We must attempt the political reorganization of the workers if we are to improve their lot. The workers must go forward in a united fashion with the simultaneous demand that the simple laws of morality and
Ladies and gentlemen, this meeting is adjourned. You're all free to go. Apart from Mr.
Stay here.
Murphy.
It'll be easy.
Get on your knees.
You've done a great service for the workers of London. I'm confident the reforms we seek cannot be far over the horizon. I don't suppose you'd formally join the Workers' Party?
I'm not much for politics.
He's not much for anything that requires deep thought.
Does that mean you'll join, Comrade Evie?
I'm afraid I have other responsibilities.
Honorary memberships, perhaps.
You don't give up, do you?
We seem to have that in common. Auf Wiedersehen, my friends.
Didn't go entirely the way they wanted it to, but it went. Okay, so we've got the Strand. 1, 2, 3. Honestly, we can probably leave the Strand and Westminster for when we're in that area of the map. We might as well start looking at the city of London. Then once we've conquered the city of London, we can do this next sequence. Level 5, level 4, level 4. Level 3. Actually, we might as well just do. Yeah, I have the right idea in the first place. We'll continue on with these side quests. Because then we're going to end up doing them at way too high levels and it'll be just trivial. But we have completed Karl Marx. On to Charles Darwin.
Come over there and give you a good thrashing!
Maybe you'll change your attitude if I come over there!
Yeah, there we go.
Someone help me! Please! They all ran off that way! They stole my purse!
How dare you!
Doing well, doing well.
Mr. Fry, good to see you again, sir.
Okay, down here. Right off the things. In Strand. It's like a public park. I feel like we've been here before. Very briefly. Was that a pub? You can get a beer bottle. And we gotta talk awful loudly about it too. I hate to get copyright strike because someone's singing. Come on now. You pick up that beer bottle in the Strand. Thank you so much. There we go. Mr. Darwin. Rummaging through the flowers. Protect Darwin's colleague and retrieve a valuable fossil.
I didn't know you had a twin sister, Mr. Fry.
Evie Fry, sir. It's a pleasure.
Usually I would reciprocate the sentiment, Miss Fry, but today, I'm afraid nothing will bring me pleasure.
What's troubling you, sir?
I am used to people challenging my ideas. In fact, I live for it, the cut and thrust of spirited debate. Lately, however, attacks against my reputation have taken a darker turn. Threats of violence against my person and against my colleagues. I do not wish anyone to be hurt because of my research.
You helped me with Starrick syrup. I am in your debt.
We help each other, sir.
My brother and I will make sure that you can continue your work in peace.
What do you know of bones?
I know how much pressure it takes to shatter, snap, or splinter one.
Perhaps it would be simpler if I just explained the situation. A few days ago, a German colleague, Dr. Schwartz, sent me a telegram. He informed me he was on his way to London to deliver a very important fossil, you see. In fact, he should arrive at Charing Cross any moment now. Would you ensure no harm comes to him?
I'll bring Dr. Schwartz and that fossil to you, Mr. Darwin.
Splendid. But please do be careful. You'll find Dr. Schwartz.
Oh! You slip inside here. And there's a nice chest there. Womp on Pearl. Oh no.
You'll be sorry if I have to come over there, boy.
Value your life. Keep your distance.
Oh, no need for that, I assure you.
Got you now.
Oh, you really don't.
There hasn't been a single goblin sighting.
Lie to waste as each man
Blend.
declares their approach to death in this country.
Stop that, or I'll make you stop.
Oh no.
Imagine the wisdom that came from a woman.
What is the meaning of this?
I'm collecting you and your precious cargo for our friend Mr. Darwin. Just act naturally.
Is that trouble?
Gracious.
So, how is your father? By which I mean my dear brother Frank, with whom I grew up, of course. Oh, splendid! Wonderful to hear. I'll do my best not to call attention to how remiss he was in forgetting to warn me about the delicate situation which brings me here today.
Like finding a needle in a haystack.
Oh, this guy is a natural. We should recruit him.
I mean it. You should do it. Swear.
The concept of the secret ballot is fascinating. What's all that argy-bargy about?
Like finding a needle in a haystack, this is. Wouldn't hurt to know what the bugger looks like.
That joke was as good as...
Yeah.
Dr. Schwartz?
Never got on the train.
Oh, I'll get you.
I knew this would be a challenge.
Yeah!
Who's a good horse?
Yeah!
Now to take this fossil to Darwin.
You probably just watched me careen down the street.
Time for the range of flavors.
At last! My heart hasn't stopped pounding. You have it? Wonderful! But where is Dr. Schwartz?
Most likely dead, I'm afraid. He never left Germany. At least I managed to get the fossil back.
Dear Lord. I should tell you, I was recently approached by men who sought to purchase all my research on the condition I work only for them. Obviously, I refused. Scientific knowledge cannot be bought. It belongs to everyone. Let these villains do their worst.
I do believe they will try. More Darwin, level 5. Defamation. Hell's Bells.
Best in the old...
Oh. Treasure maps. Wouldn't be bad.
Have a good day now.
Charles Dickens. Uncover the truth behind some paranormal thefts.
There's been a spate of rather intriguing thefts about town recently.
Robberies? In London? I never thought I'd see the day.
They look like common robberies at first, but these perpetrators have all claimed to have been under the influence of some supernatural power. I'm not so foolish as to forget that criminals will spin any yarn to avoid the law. However, these thieves all proffer the same defense. They say they were being controlled by a demon. Will you make some inquiries? One of our demon-possessed mobsmen is being held behind bars at this very moment. You may want to begin your search there.
Demon-possessed mobsman. Wonders ever cease.
That's it, come on.
Alright, well. Oh. Stealth killed the messenger. What happened to this? me crazy.
What's this one in for?
Rob the pawnbrokers down the road.
A demon made me do it. I can't remember much. That's what's so queer. I've never stolen anything in my life before.
Who do you think made you do this?
All I can recall is a silver watch, swinging in mid-air. It was held by someone or something. A dark presence whispering. I could only see its eyes. A demon.
Maybe the shopkeeper will make more sense.
A silver watch being held by a dark force. Doesn't make much sense. Grappling hook really does make climbing almost trivial in this game, but for an assassin, I couldn't imagine a better tool. All right, let's get down the street.
May I ask you about the robbery?
There's not much to say. Most of the items did come from the same seller. Enzio Capelli, Sorcerer Supreme, a famous showman from Italy. Several weeks ago, he was forced to pawn his family heirlooms, debts. I'll have the address of the last person who redeemed something of his. A lovely pearl necklace. That helpful?
Not again! Stop her! Stop! Somebody stop that thief!
Oh, there she goes. Man, she's fast.
on?
Where am I? What's happening?
You were just indulging in a little light theft.
Is something happening?
It's all very hazy, but I remember something silver flashing in front of my eyes. Then I heard a sort of bell.
What's that
Next
over
thing
there?
I know, I'm here with you.
Sure.
Back on track. Now to find this buyer. Let's not be so hasty this time.
That's hardly necessary, Adam.
I'm not gonna hurt you.
You have nothing to say now. It's too late for that.
Oh, that one more
Stop
time
it.
and you'll agree.
Yeah, I got one of them. Though I would definitely notice this.
to give you the necklace now.
Not a ghost, not a demon, but the great Enzio Capelli.
You are very much mistaken, aren't you, my child?
Yes, I am very much mistaken. Oh, wait. No, I'm not.
You are very much mistaken. And now you are so very, very tired, aren't you?
Yes, I'm very, very tired.
Now, you're going to do a little job of work for me, aren't you?
Oh dear.
My goodness, what foul behavior.
What's going on? Where the devil am I?
You've been arrested for theft. How very intriguing.
I don't remember a damn thing.
Let's get you out of here. I've pulled a few strings, and they won't prosecute on account of your losing your mind. Be free, little chicken.
Oh, I think this is hilarious. Yes, now there was a letter. It's very interesting to see what that letter says. It's a very high level area of the game though. Played through most of the Assassin's Creed games personally. I've never found royal correspondence. Royal correspondence between Queen Victoria and various peoples. June 26, 1867, to Lord Charles Fitzroy. Lord Charles Fitzroy, having always been so kind to the Queen in all that concerns her convenience and comfort, and having only lately informed her that the Duke of Beaufort so completely understood her wishes and entered into her feelings respecting her faithful Brown, and having also her last year that people quite understood his going as an upper servant with his carriage, and he, Lord Charles, thinking there should be no difference in London to the country, and moreover having taken him everywhere with her for 2 years on public as well as private occasions, she is much astonished and shocked at an attempt being made by some people to prevent her faithful servant going with her to the review in Hyde Park, thereby making the poor, nervous, shaking queen, who is so accustomed to his watchful care and intelligence, terribly nervous and uncomfortable. Whatever can be done, the queen does not know on this occasion, or what it all means she does not know, but she would be very glad if Lord Charles could come down tomorrow morning any time before luncheon, that she may have some conversation with him on the subject, not so much as with a view as to what can be done on this occasion, but as to what can be done for the future to prevent her from being teased and plagued with the interference of others, and moreover, to make it completely understood once and for all that her upper Highland servant, whether it be Brown or another, in case he should be ill or replaced, replaced him, belongs to her outdoor attendance on state as well as private occasions. The queen will not be dictated to or made to alter what she has found to answer for her comfort, and looks to her gentlemen, and especially her equerries, setting this right for the future, whatever may be done on this single occasion. If, when Lord Charles arrives, he would first go to Countess Bulcher, he will hear from her what has passed. Oh gosh. December 19th, 1867. General Grey presents his humble and most devoted duty to your Majesty. He has shrunk from, with a reluctance beyond words to express, from saying anything to alarm your Majesty, and if he spoke on the subject yesterday, it was only in obedience to Mr. Hardy's opinion that he ought to do so. But in what he said yesterday, he said perhaps less than he ought to have done, for he feels that, with a view to your Majesty's safety, it is absolutely necessary that your Majesty should be under no delusion as to the designs which are harbored against your Majesty, or as to the peculiar facility which Osborne affords, in spite of the utmost watchfulness for carrying them into execution. Crimes such as those contemplated cannot easily be perpetrated in crowded thoroughfares, or where there is a large population, and the most unsafe places for your Majesty at this moment are those where the population is most thin and scattered. General Grey says this with much pain and reluctance, for he knows how it will jar against your Majesty's feelings, and tend to disturb your Majesty's comfort. But he would be utterly unworthy of the confidence your Majesty has reposed in him if he hesitated now, even at the risk of incurring your Majesty's displeasure, in saying what he believes the case for your Majesty's precious safety requires. He shrunk yesterday from telling your Majesty the full extent of the information received with respect to the designs against your Majesty. He now sends for your Majesty's perusal the note he received from Mr. Hardy after he had seen him on Tuesday, and in answer to one that General Grey wrote to ask if he thought it necessary that your Majesty should be informed of the designs against your Majesty's person. He also sends the letter he has this morning received from Mr. Hardy, as well as one from the Duke of Buckingham, corroborating the information received at the Home Office, also one from the Duke of Cambridge, enclosing an anonymous letter, evidently written in a good spirit, warning him of the designs against your Majesty, it is added. They are only waiting for rendering the services of the military in and about London more immediately available in the event of incendiary fires, which appears the form of outbreak most to be apprehended. Wow. Lord Derby had written thus far, and was about to bring under your Majesty's notice the painful and alarming reports which have been received of designs against your Majesty's person, when he received a letter from General Grey informing him that he had felt it to be his duty not to shrink from laying before your majesty the intelligence itself, which received in the first instance by telegram from Lord Monk has since been confirmed in several respects from various quarters. As your majesty will see the Duke of Buckingham tomorrow, Lord Derby abstains from detailing the measures which your majesty's servants have taken for guarding against the particular danger thus indicated, in which, moreover, his grace has taken a prominent part. It is indescribably painful to him to acknowledge, even to himself, that so fearful a crime should be contemplated, but disposed as he is to disregard mere rumors of such threatened atrocity against your majesty or your majesty's servants, of which there have been abundance. He cannot shut his eyes to the conviction that such schemes are in serious contemplation, and that the determination of a few resolute and desperate men to effect them at the hazard of their own lives requires the utmost vigilance to defeat them, and even that may prove insufficient. Lord Derby would hardly venture to write thus openly if he were not aware that your majesty is inaccessible, perhaps even, if he may be permitted to say so, too much so, to personal apprehension. But he trusts that he may be allowed, most respectfully, but most earnestly, to represent that it is a duty which your majesty owes to many millions of loyal subjects not to expose to unnecessary risk a life so incalculably valuable to the country. He cannot but concur in the opinion which he knows has been submitted to your majesty by General Grey, that few places could afford such facilities as Osborne to such a design as is, he fears, with too much truth, entertained. Of course, as long as it is your majesty's pleasure to remain there, every precaution that can be taken will be taken, both by land and sea, to provide for your majesty's safety. But Lord Derby cannot withhold the expression of his own strong opinion that that primary object could be far better secured, even in London, still more at Windsor, and he would feel himself not only deeply responsible to public opinion, but personally criminal in his own conscience, if he shrank from submitting this view to your majesty, unpleasing as he knows it must be in any case. Lord Derby would urge upon your majesty with all possible earnestness, at least so far to cooperate with those whose duty and affection alike prompt to watch over your majesty's safety, as to limit your hours of driving out as far as possible to daylight, and to be accompanied by a sufficient attendance to provide against a coup de main. The house at Osborne may be, by extreme care, be protected, but your majesty's unattended late drives afford an opportunity for desperate adventurers against which no vigilance can effectually provide. Oh my gosh. Someone just take him out and shoot him. My gosh. I think we were there for 10 minutes. It's ridiculous. I don't think that he said the second letter. I don't think that he said one thing of substance the entire time. I think he said, we're watching for threats of arson, and don't drive at night. But you're the queen. That may be it. I'm not sure. I'm but a stupid American. Goodness gracious. Stealing myself after that, we have unlocked another Charles Dickens memory recollection, which I can only assume is dealing with Enzio. Also, 50 Berkeley Square. that may be it. Darwin has an abominable mystery as well as defamation. This is a Dulip Singh memory. This is a Last Maharaja DLC. We'll do this last before continuing on. Darwin's and Dickens conspiracy. I'm not familiar with this, actually. So maybe after doing the Darwin's and Dickens quest lines, we'll come together and do that before continuing on with sequence. Is it 5? Yeah, sequence 5. We are 50% done with the London stories. We only have the 3 more. No. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 more Charles Dickens. 1, 2. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4 more of Charles Darwin, and then 1 being a Darwin and Dickens conspiracy. We've completed Marx, and then Dulip Singh will need to continue as well. We should look into Evie's Notebook when we can as well, and we can look into the Templar conspiracy as well. But those will be for another time. I think that we should hop aboard the train and collect some funds. And then we'll wrap up today's episode.
A letter? For me?
Not yet. Who did you? Henry. Nice. That will do us quite a bit of good. Including, yes, police bribes. So police will be less of an issue. No more street conflict. And explosive deliveries all over the city. Fantastic. We may as well complete the Swindler tree with the bomb discount. All things are going boom. And now we can focus on upgrading our rooks. Fantastic. Brutes, welcome. Enforcers, welcome. We now have all the archetypes available. Except, no, yeah, including Rook Riders. Now, Brutes and Enforcers, yes. Now we just need to work toward training the Rooks up to level 7. Popularity striking. More Rook-themed carriages roaming about. Look for them on the streets of London. Getting our own Rook-themed carriage. Room in the budget for better wheels. More resistant. And Cavalry Call. Summon a carriage full of Rooks to our aid. Hold the right bumper to open the Rooks menu and press A to call the carriage. Very good. Then we can get some enhanced firepower and then train our boys up to rank 9 when we're ready. Very good. And with our alliance pause, we'll be good there. Evie will be able to equip her cane once we get her leveled up. It's a shame we haven't unlocked any of the gauntlets, but we'll get there. I expect for the train to start looking much better. There's good old Nigel. And there we go. So, with all that being said, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, that'll be the end of today's episode. When we come back, we'll continue working with the Charleses. Probably finishing up with Dickens first and then Darwin. Then we'll finish their conspiracy with Darwin's orchid. And then we'll sweep through the city of London. And then clean up with Room with a View, with Edie, and the Lady with the Lamp, also with Edie. Before continuing on with Jacob in the city of London with some friendly competition. We'll do it in reverse order this time, finishing up with Jacob's quests. Okay. Well, that will do it. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for tuning in to this episode. It's been good to put on the hood again. Syndicate. It's a good one. But it can be hard to get through. Especially when you know that the RPGs are coming. They're much larger, they're much harder to get through. It kind of leads to a little bit of procrastination, and time has been a little bit against me here lately, some personal things. But I do want to get back to this. This has been part of my life that I've missed a lot, and I do want to continue telling stories. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I hope that you're having a great start to your weekend. Behave if it suits you. If not, be bad twice. And as always, keep telling stories.